Established that, right? Already clinched the NFC East, but there's an outside chance they could earn a first-round bye this weekend. Still an outside chance, a long shot. Two of their stars have battled injuries. Tony Romo with a back. DeMarco Murray just had hand surgery. So given all the variables here, should the Cowboys rest their stars? Good.
You know, Stephen A. Smith, this is a beautiful problem to have. Who could have imagined back in early September that we would get to this point just a couple days before Christmas and we would have to debate, gee, in the final regular season game, should they rest their starters or should they play? Because they've already wrapped up the NFC East. Most people thought they would finish in the cellar in the NFC East, except for one person I know. And now they are the champions. They are wearing the champion shirts, and they have a great dilemma here to figure out. So, answering your question, Doug, my head says they should rest all their starters, but my heart says play. I'm going to compromise here. I'm going to say they should only rest DeMarco Murray. Obviously, he has a broken bone in his hand. He played with it the other day. I thought he was about 50% of the DeMarco I had come to know and love through the year. You kept making the point that he's at high risk the more he carries the football, so why not at least give him a break? Joseph Randle is a quality backup. I think he's pretty good. And they did win at Philadelphia a year ago, 17-3, without DeMarco and with the backup. So here's my point. Number Fire says it's a 17.8% chance that Dallas could get a bye and rise up in the seedings. And the only way for that to happen is the St. Louis Rams are going to have to go up to Seattle and win the football game. What are the chances of that, where they are prohibitive underdogs there? Well, I look at what St. Louis has done this year, and I say, gee, they beat the Seahawks in St. Louis. They beat the 49ers. They beat the Broncos badly in St. Louis. They beat the Raiders 52-0. That's starting to look pretty impressive now that we see what the Raiders have done lately. For that matter, they went to Washington and won 24-0, did the St. Louis Rams. Are they capable? Because since Week 11, they've allowed the second fewest points in the league. One glitch, one flaw, was to Eli's Giants, who have suddenly caught fire thanks to Odell Beckham in the game last week at St. Louis. What was it, 37-27? Because Odell just went berserk on St. Louis. They could not deal with Odell Beckham. So, again, would I give St. Louis a chance here? Yeah, I would. So remember, Dallas is going to play at 1 o'clock in Seattle in the later game because it's out in Seattle.
Dallas plays at Washington.
Yeah, at Washington. So you can't know what's going to happen in Seattle, so you have to just go ahead and play. And I like the idea of just go for it because this team, the Dallas Cowboys, as I keep reminding you, is 7-0 on the road. And I want to keep that intact. Just for the pride of that football team to say, we went undefeated on the road in the National Football League, let's go for it. Now, again, are you risking injury, just wear-down factor? Sure you are. But there's only one guy who needs to rest, and that's the running back. The rest of them, let them play. You might have a quick hook if you fell behind for whatever reason fairly quickly. You might want to start subbing. But I don't think they will fall behind quickly. I think they're highly capable of winning this game, even though Washington did just beat your Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm saying rest one guy and go for 8-0 on the road and a 17.8% chance that maybe at 4 o'clock you'd start finding out, hey, you are going to get a bye and a week off.
I respectfully disagree with you. I don't think they should rest just one guy. I think they should rest two, DeMarco Murray and Tony Romo. Tony Romo with the bad back.
Okay, well, now you're going to really decrease your winning chances,
well,
right?
Again, but the point is that you are the Dallas Cowboys. You've been playing the way that you've been playing. Joseph Randle, as you pointed out, is definitely capable of filling in. So is Brandon Wheaton.
He threw a sweet ball to Terrence Williams last week.
There you go. So for me, I look at it from the perspective that it's something that you really, really need to think about. Tony Romo needs to get healthier, even though he's been playing very well.
Yep.
He needs to get healthier, and DeMarco Murray out because Romo's got the broken bones in his back, and DeMarco Murray has the broken bone in his hand. And so to me, those guys should be out. Now, if you're playing the Washington Redskins, even though they're the NFC East nemesis and they're going to be fired up to go against you, I mean,
they didn't kick your behind.
You got to remember,
Jerry.
They've got nothing to ruin. They've got nothing to ruin but a flawless record on the road. If Dallas needed to get into the playoffs or whatever, Washington would be hyped because of that. Let's ruin their season. But with Dallas going to the playoffs anyway, with them already having locked up the NFC East crown anyway, there is absolutely nothing to play for. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, you might sit there and say, well, you know what, that extra week, but the risks are too great to me because your two key players are not healthy. Not 100%.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate. So let's say you're Jason Garrett and you rest your running back and your quarterback and you lose and Seattle loses. Would you forever regret that?
No, because what you're playing for is a bye and home field, whereas you've had your most success on the road. Now, if you were Green Bay, if you were New Orleans prior to this year, if you were a team that were a juggernaut at home, but was not necessarily that way on the road, then you would have a point. But because you're unblemished on the road, I see no reason why you're This shirt does not match with my outfit. I'm just doing it for Dez, to honor Dez and the Cowboys in that regard, out of respect for Dez. One more segment and then that's it. I'm taking this damn thing off and putting it back on my blazer.
All right, we're talking NBA coming up next. LeBron making his return to South Beach on Christmas. But will the Miami fans welcome him with holiday cheer? Fellas, we'll discuss coming up next.